Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Ya ayyuhan nasu ittaqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahidah wa khalaqa minha zawjaha wa batha minhuma rijalan kathiran wa nisaa wattaqullaha alladhi tasaaluna bihi wal arham innallaha kana alaykum raqiba. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كلام الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم وبارك الله فيكم وأحسن الله إليكم ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يتقبل منا ومنكم هذه الجلسة المباركة التي ندرس فيها بعض أمور ديننا، ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى كذلك أن ينفعنا بما نسمع وأن يجعل كل ما نقدمها في صالح دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم في ميزان حسناتنا يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. آمين يا رب العالمين. We on Manhaj, learning Manhaj from the ulama of Al-Manhaj, the Manhaj of the Salaf al-Salih, Ahl al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah, بدءا بصحابة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، نعم، والذين يلونهم والذين يلونهم. Beginning with the companions of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم and those that came after them and then those that came after them. The three generations who the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم praised them. And they are the best of people. This is a tazkiyah of the Prophet ﷺ for them. It is important, dear brothers and those who are tuned in, that we understand the manhaj of the Salaf al-Salih in practicing this deen, in aqidah, in ibadah, in our akhlaq, in our conduct, in our dealings with each other as Muslims, and in our acquisition and acquiring of knowledge. Everything there is a manhaj. We had a guest here yesterday and we were speaking on this issue, and walillahi alhamdu wal minna, when we were speaking about the deviant groups that are present, and we were speaking about the saruris, As-Saruriyyah. You know, he said something very important, and that is that the Saruriyyah, they are like the twin of As-Salafiyyah, of the Salafis. If somebody is not acquainted with them and their creed and their distinguishing characteristics from As-Salafiyyah, they can erroneously rule that these people are Salafis. But he said they are like one black hair on a white ox, or one white hair on a black ox. You will not be able to see that one single strand of different hair color. That's a Saruriyyah, the Saruris. So you can mistakenly think that a Saruri is a Salafi, because the Aqidah is the same. The source works that they derive or acquire their knowledge from is the same, right? But when you speak about jihad, then you see they say Tawheedul Hakimiyyah. Now you know. You waited for that black hair to appear and it disappeared, or that white hair on a black ox. Now you know he's not a Salafi. He's a Saruri. Saruri. So they have something from their scholars which they have mentioned. This is what we are upon, and this is how our outlook is. And that outlook is, yani, we are upon, yani, Salafiyatul Mu'taqad wa Mu'asaratul Muwajaha. You see? So our aqidah is the aqidah of the Salaf Salih. But our outlook is the modern approach. You see? Whereas a Salafi, we speak about what? Sihhatul Mu'taqad, correctness of creed, Salamatul Manhaj, and having a sound methodology of the Salaf Salih. So that's where you're going to see the downfall is in Manhaj. Therefore, it is imperative and important that we understand the Manhaj of the Salaf Salih in the application of the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every aspect of the deen. If we can get that right, then we will be upon what the Sahaba were upon. Otherwise, you will be swept by the tides of innovation and things that look like the real Makoya, but they're not. Now, I'll give you, I take copper and I put it under heat, melt it and make a brick. And I bring you a brick of gold. You cannot be able to tell the difference. When an expert is not telling you. Many brothers are caught with the real copper. It's a real story. You got caught with it. Now, they paid for copper thinking it's gold. But the way the person works that copper, now, it gets dull after a while, but the day you bring that purchase, it's shiny. And you take your brick and you go and you're so happy. Now, only to find the next day, look at it, it's like going dull. Gold does not go like that. Now, so, what will help you to be able to distinguish, besides the aqidah aspects, it is the methodology of a person. What methodology? When he gets angry, how does he react? Does he now say, I'm going to take my gun and shoot you and I'm going to smash your head in and all of that? And he does that? No, this was just a fake attribution to Salafiyah. We spoke about akhlaq, we spoke about suluk. Now, so he must apply. When he's reminded, maybe he might forget, sometimes he gets threatening like that, but when he's reminded, quickly he submits to the reminder. The shaitan can make us forget. We're human beings. We can sometimes act irrationally or contrary to the methodology of the Salaf. That can happen. But when you're reminded, you comply. Now, put away your emotions. Now, this only can work for those who rarely talk to themselves and practice this, knowing that the focus is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the introduction for now. Keep that in mind. Barakallahu feekum. The next question, هل الحكم على المخالفين ونسبتهم لبدعهم خاص بالعلماء أم أنه يجوز لطلاب العلم العارفين أن يحكموا على المخالفين كذلك؟ أرجو الإيضاح. Beautiful question. It's a very good question because right now we have on the internet, you see it, people, youngsters are hasty. You know, they just want to give hukum. Or they contact you and say, Sheikh, this person said this. Refute him now, Sheikh. Refute him now. Refute him now. Now, Sheikh, he's a deviant. He's nothing. Relax. Take a step back. Breathe. Think. Now, go make wudu. Now, after all that emotion is gone, you see him after 5 hours, he's talking about samosas and bhajiyas. He forgot about what you were saying before. Now, because of youth, you are, very eager. You want things done now. Now, So the question is this: is the ruling against violators now and attributing them to innovations, that ruling, is it specifically for the scholars, or is it also the students of knowledge can enter that arena as well? Those students were acquainted with the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, that they can rule against the violators as well. They can come in and refute the innovators, etc. We'd like some clarity, please. And then the second part is وَمَا قَوْلُكُمْ فِي مَنْ يُقِرُّ بِأَنَّ مَا عَلَيْهِ الدَّعْوَاتِ الْحِزْبِيَّة الْمُعَاصِرَةِ مِنَ الْبَاطِلِ لكنه متوقف عن التحذير من الجماعات في بلده هم كثير. Okay, what do you say regarding the one who acknowledges that now whatever these fanatical groups are upon, the calls of these fanatical groups in our time, in contemporary times, now they agree that it is batil, it is falsehood, right? But the person abstains from warning against these groups in his country. And such people are many. Or the groups are many. The groups that are on deviation are many. Okay? So question A is what Sheikh will speak about now. Now, al-haqiqah, the reality, now whether the scholars can refute and students of knowledge also refute the violators. He says in reality, أن العلماء بشرع الله المطهر المتمكنين من فهم نصوص كتاب الله العزيز والسنة الكريمة المطهرة والمتمكنين من فهم ما كتبه أئمة العلم بفنونه المتنوعة وأبوابه وفصوله المتعددة هم القادرون على نقد أهل الأخطاء والبدع والمحدثات. The reality is that the scholars, those who have knowledge of the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are well grounded in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and understanding it. Now this pure deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are competent in understanding the text of the book and the sunnah. Now, and they are capable in understanding what the scholars, the imams of the scholars have written now regarding the different sciences and fields and the different chapters and their subheadings, many of the subheadings. They are the ones who are able now to criticize those who make errors, those who are innovators, and those who bring about and invent new matters in the deen. So you've got to have proper skills. You've got to be competent, in other words. وإذا كان الأمر كذلك فهم الأولى بالرد على المخالفين لأهل السنة. If that's the case, then it is clear that they are the ones who are more suitable to refute the opponents now of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. وَأَوْلَى بِالنَّقْدِ لِمَا يَجِبُ أَن يُنْقَضَ. And that they are more suitable and appropriate for them to criticize that which is necessary to be criticized. وَمَنْ يَجِبُ أَن يُنْتَقَدَ بِقُدْرَاتِهِمْ الْعِلْمِيَّةِ. And they are also those who are more suitable and preferred to criticize those who it is compulsory for them to be criticized according to their abilities or their academic skills. Now, because they have that competency to do that. So they are the ones first in line to step up and to warn against and to criticize. Can you have some hawa in front of you? طيب. وَتَجْرِبَتِهِمُ الدَّعْوِيَّةِ, and also take into account that they've got experience in da'wah. Experience in da'wah. So first is having the academic ability. That's one. Then having experience in da'wah. That's the second. Now, the third is وَحُسْنِ طَرِيقَتِهِمْ فِي الرَّدِّ وَالنَّقْدِ وَالِاسْتِدْلَالِ وَالتَّوْجِيهِ. You're not criticizing people to be famous. Hey, look at me. I'm the one that's criticizing him. Hey, look at me, I'm ready. You got anyone to criticize today for me? Have you got anyone for me to criticize? Come on, I'm waiting. I have no job today. No, ya akhi. Look at this from the ulama. Look at this and pay attention, Jama'ah. Why are you stepping up to criticize? You have to protect this deen. Unlike the Jews and the Christians, when they were doing wrong, we read the ayahs before. When they were doing wrong, the scholars are not kept quiet. They were scholars for dollars, take money. Don't talk. Is Mr. So-and-so? Go ahead. Right? Any poor person doing something wrong, hey you. This is poor. What benefit can you get from a poor person? No, this is not Islam. Islam is not like that. Now, Islam, you judge by the Kitab and the Sunnah. Whoever comes in the firing line, whether it's your family, whether it's who, he gets that bullet. Finish and clear, as they say. Now, no favors. Because when you stand before Allah and you're a person calling to the deen, you will be questioned. What did you do? Why did you keep quiet when all this wrong was being in front of you? Now, now here's the beautiful part. You must have a beautiful approach if you want to do that, right? In refuting and in criticizing and in the citing of evidences from the text, as well as the purpose of it to guide, not to disgrace people, not to be condescending. Your objective and purpose must be to guide. At-tawjih. Give guidance. Right. You must be competent. Now, you must know how to do it, and your intention must be correct. Now, وغير ذلك مما تستدعيه الأحوال والملابسات, and other aspects now and ways which the situation demands and which the circumstances demands. So everything is according to the situation and the circumstances. And also the error of those who go into error. وَخَطَأَ الْمُخْتِئِينَ وَبِدَعَ الْمُبْتَدِئِينَ, and the innovation of the innovators. All these factors must be taken into account. وَجَهْلَ الْجَاهِلِينَ, and the ignorance of the ignorant ones. Now, وَخُلُوِ الْغَالِينَ, and the exaggerations of those who exaggerate. وَتَنَطُّعِ الْمُتَنَطِّعِينَ, and the obstinacy of the obstinate ones. Now, وَيَتَحَدَّثُونَ مَعَ النَّاسِ, so the one that's criticizing, he must speak, the naqid, the criticizer, he must speak with the people بِحَسْبِ مُسْتَوَيَاتِهِمْ الْعِلْمِيَّةِ وَالْعَقْلِيَّةِ, in accordance to their level of knowledge and the level of understanding. If I come here and I speak to you all in the most, or on the most intricate of things, sciences of the deen, in the most intricate of manners, I will not achieve anything. The message which I hope to convey will not be conveyed. It will be conveyed, but it will not be understood. And what do we want? We want understanding to happen. People must understand what you're saying. If you want to correct me, and you come and you start quoting a hadith, I'm a lay person, and you're quoting a hadith, and you say this hadith is this thing is a nasikh of the one thing that you did, which is mansukh. I'm using terms like that. Well, what is nasikh? What is mansukh? You know, example, small little example. Now, so you're not going to achieve anything. You first have to educate and then apply. Now, so وَقِيَاسُ النَّذِيرِ عَلَى النَّذِيرِ, and you make an analogy like upon the like. Now, where analogy is requisite, you make proper analogy. Now, so this is the scholars. This is the task of the scholars. And this is the way that they will attend to this situation. Now we come to the students. Okay? وَأَمَّا طُلَّابُ الْعِلْمِ الْمُتَوَسِّطُونَ فِي التَّحْصِيلِ. As for students who are the middle level students in terms of knowledge, right? Who are these middle level students now? He says, the Shaykh Rahimahullah Ta'ala says, كطلاب الجامعات من قسم العلوم الشرعية الجادين في تحصيل العلم. It is those students of the universities, those students who are students at the Islamic universities, students of Sharia, who are serious and determined in the acquisition of knowledge. فلهم أن يسهموا في بيان الحق في المسائل العلمية. Then they must also take a share and a portion in explaining the truth in the academic issues التي قد ضبطوها عن أشياخهم, which they are grounded in from their sheikhs. The issue that a student of knowledge wants to discuss must be an issue in which he is well grounded. He understands those issues well. Now, before he ventures to enter into that arena of criticizing and refuting. So, he is well acquainted with it. Now, وَأَتْقَنُوهَا مِنْ جَمِيعِ جِهَاتِهَا, and is well versed with it in all aspects. He's well versed with the issue. Now, وَأَحْرَزُوا نُصُوصَ أَدِلَّتِهَا, and he's obtained the text connected to the issues, the evidences connected to the issues. He has it all with him. This particular type of student, this middle level student. وَفَهِمُوا مِنْ مَعَانِ الْأَدِلَّةِ, and these type of students, they understand the meaning of the evidences. مَا يَشْهَدُ لَهَا وَمَا يُعَارِضُهَا, what supports their stance and what opposes it. They understand that. Now, وَإِنْ فَاتَهُمْ ضَبْطُ الصُّدُورِ لِلْعُلُومِ, even though they may not have memorized that knowledge, right? فَلْيَرْجِعُوا إِلَى مَا قَدْ قَيَّدُوهُ بِأَقْلَامِهِمْ, they can refer to what they have recorded with their pens. There's no problem in you recording. You want to go engage someone who's done, who's maybe an innovator, right? You record the issues at hand with the evidences, the ayah of the Quran, the Sunnah, Hadith Sahih, and the Aqwal al-Ulama, and everything. And you go to him into a meeting, you sit down, you keep that in front of you, and you engage him, and you look at your notes, and you refer to, because it's a haq. What you have there is a haq. Now, so you deliver that. Now, if you've memorized it, it's there in your head, you took it from the ulama, and it's there, you can produce the adillah, you can quote from the Quran by memory, quote from the hadith from memory, and the sayings and the views of the scholars from memory. This is good. It is good. Excellent. Now, so remember, in the days of the muhaddithun of old, when you talk about memorization, when you talk about dabt, the term used is dabt. There's dabt as-sadr, which is memorization. Dabt al-kitaba, which is recording down with a pen. But it's a condition. There where you've recorded the hadith, no person must have access to that book such that it is possible for a person to insert something in that what you have written. So that's dabt. So you must protect what you have recorded. So if that is assured, then it's okay. Like some of the muhaddithun, they had scribes. Warraq. These scribes, they were paid money. They gave their services. You see, if I want hadith now, what I'll do? I don't have the book. I'll take your book, which I have a beautiful book, hadith. I'll go to my photocopy machine, put it in there, press a button, 2, 3, 4 copies out. But those days, you had to go sit by a sheikh. who has the hadith, either he has it in his memory or he has it compiled in book form on pages. So he will bring, you say, Sheikh, I've traveled so far, I've come to you, I hear you've got 500 ahadith on Birrul Walidain. Now, I want to record those ahadith. So the Sheikh will have a majlis and he will now start reading off the hadith to you, either from memory or from his book. So if he's got a scribe who wrote on the hadith, the scribe has been found at times to insert certain statements in the hadith of the Sheikh. So that means the Sheikh hasn't looked after his book. So that book has no value in terms of in terms of being protected, in terms of it being memorized in the book. You see? So that memorization, when we speak of memorization, some people are only thinking it's only memorization with the heart. Now, no, it is these two ways that I've just explained in a nutshell. Now, so there's no issue if a person comes with something written down. It's from him, it's his, and nobody has any access to it. That's fine, alhamdulillah. He's taking the knowledge, example from Sheikh, one of the Kibar ulama, Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, masalan, and he's got it there and he's now delivering that to the one who is a detractor, the one who is a violator of the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he presents that now. So Sheikh says, even though he has not memorized the evidences that is recorded, then he must refer to his notes and there's no problem. Or فَهِمُوا مَعْنَاهُ مِنْ كُتُبِهِمْ, or he's understood the meanings of what the ulama have recorded from their books, الَّتِي يَرْجِعُونَ إِلَيْهَا عِنْدَ الْحَاجَةِ, which they can refer to at the time of need. So the books are there, you take the book and you can have it next to you and say, yes, this is the book of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, this is what he's saying. Oh, he says that, oh, okay, alright, I'll stop my actions. That's good, excellent. كما لهم أن يسهموا في بيان الخطأ والبدعة ونقدهما. Like how it is allowed for them, the students, to also take their share, to proceed in explaining the errors and explaining the innovations and to criticize the errors and the innovations. That's allowed for a student mutawassit. Now, and then the Shaykh says, وَإِطْلَاقُ الْبِدْعَةِ عَلَى الْمُبْتَدِي الَّذِي قَامَتْ عَلَيْهِ الْحُجَّةِ بِوُجُوبِ تَرْكِهَا وَهَجْرِ أَهْلِهَا. And also to the pinning of innovation against the innovator, that this individual is a mubtadi, and is based upon hujjah, upon evidences, which it is necessary that he must leave this and then to boycott this person who is an innovator. فَأَبَى إِلَّا أَن يَعِيشَ فِي جَحِيمِهَا. But the person who refuses except to live within the confines of bid'ah, or in the inferno. Jahim is a fire, the flames of bid'ah. Such a person, you do not waste your time with him. Because he will call and invite. وَيُنَادِ بِهَا مُنَاصِرًا زُعَمَاءَهَا وَمُرَوِّجًا لِنَشْرًا. Otherwise he is going to call people to assist in him spreading these innovations. And he will be with its leaders. And he will be the one who is propagating. Murawwij is the one that markets and propagates the innovation. Now, أما سؤالك عن شريحة من أهل العلم يعترفون بأن تحزب الجماعات المعاصرة كالإخوانية والقطبية والسرورية والتبليغية الصوفية باطل. As for your question about the section of the people of knowledge who acknowledge that the partisanship of the contemporary groups like the Ikhwaniyya and the Qutbiyya and the Saruriyya and the Tablighiyyah and the Sufiyya is batil. It's batil. So you got this person that knows, he recognizes, he acknowledges that all these groups are batil, the groups of falsehood. وَلَكِنَّهُمْ لَا يُبَيِّنُونَ بِدَعَهُمْ وَأَخْطَاءَهُمْ. But what these people do, this type of people, they do not explain. So the second part of the question is dealing with. Now this type of person knows that these are innovators, they are tablighis, they are innovators, they are sururis, kutubis, ikhwanjis and all of that. But they don't explain their innovations and their errors. Yaqulun, they say, Nada haza lil ulama, we're going to leave this for the ulama. We're not going to explain the student. We leave this for the ulama. We're not going to criticize anyone. وَأَقُولُ لَهُمْ, I say to them, مَا دُمْتُمْ قَدْ اعْتَرَفْتُمْ بِأَنَّ تَحَزُّبَهُمْ الْمَذْكُورَ مُنْكَرٌ. He says, as long as you have mentioned and you have acknowledged that their partisanship, their sectarian mentality, now, is something that is detested and abominable, evil, bad. You've acknowledged that. وَأَنَّ الْحِزْبِيَّةَ مِنَ الْمُنْكَرِ, and this partisanship is an abominable thing. الَّذِي قَالَ النَّبِيُّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ, which the Prophet ﷺ has said regarding it, مَنْ رَأَى مِنْكُمْ مُنْكَرًا, whoever of you sees that evil act, فَيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ, must change it with his hand. فَإِلَّمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ, whoever is unable to do so, then with his tongue speak out against it. فَإِلَّمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ, whoever is unable to do so, then with his heart he must feel bad about this evil that's going on. وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ, this type of response is the weakest form of iman, where you just only feel it in your heart, you don't speak out, you don't use your hands to stop it, either right against that, now, or if you're a father, beat your son there, who's over 10 years old, and doing all these kind of things. So he's maybe baligh also, you can beat him up, it's fine. Now, because you got the authority. If you've got no authority, you can't beat anyone. Then you can speak out. Now, وَإِذَا كَانَ الْأَمْرُ كَذَلِكَ, and if the affair is like this, you got the hadith of Prophet ﷺ, you know, you acknowledge, these are innovators, they are tabligh, Sufis, you know, it's all clear, you acknowledge that. And that's how it is. فَلَا عُذْرَ لَهُمْ, there is no excuse for them, this type of people who see this evil, acknowledge it is evil. They have no excuse. مَا دَامُوا قَادِرِينَ عَلَى تَغْيِيرِ الْمُنْكَرِ, as long as they are able to change the evil state of affairs. بِالْلِسَانِ أو الْكَلَامِ, would speak it out or with the pen. وَإِنْ عَجِزُوا عَنْ ذَلِكَ عَجْزًا شَرْعِيًّا, if they are incapable to do that, and the incapability is acknowledged by the Sharia, right? So we're not looking at I'm incapable, and it's because that statement of yours is based on your own perceptions. No. You say you're incapable. Let's look at the Sharia now. Let's look at Quran and Sunnah, where it accepts that incapability that you are claiming. Right? So the guide to that incapability is the Sharia, not your own, what do you call that? Self-assessment, yes. Not your own self-assessment. Now, well, that is subjective. The Sharia is not subjective. Now, so the ajz must be Shari'iyah. فَالتَّغْيِيرُ بِالْقَلْبِ, so if you cannot do it with the tongue, not with the pen, then changing with the heart. A, بِالْبُغْضِ لِلْمُنْكَرِ, you must hate the evil. وَلِأَهْلِهِ, and its people. بِقَدْرِ جَرِيمَةِ الْمُنْكَرِ, now in accordance to the transgression that is going on. Meaning don't exceed the bounds. Somebody did something small, you bring your gun and shoot him. Example. That's excessiveness. You know? So, in accordance to the crime, you know, as they say, the punishment must befit the crime. Now, so that's a rule we apply. وَلَا سِيَّمَا وَأَهْلُ الْمُنْكَرِ مِنْ أَهْلِ قَرْيَتِهِمْ أَوْ الْحَيِّ الَّذِي يَعِيشُونَ فِيهِ, especially more so when the people involved in that bad and that evil, they're from your own place, from your own village, your own town. Now, this is something that is very, very important to know. These type of people that described here who say, no, we leave that for the ulama, we're not going to enter into this, we don't want anyone to speak bad about us, and all of these kind of excuses is not acceptable. Now, if you have, and Sheikh has pointed that out, if you have certainty that this is what's going on, now, and you know that this is wrong, then you got to step up and you got to take the bull by the horns, so to speak. Now you have people that have established principles recently, currently, that of al-muwazana bain al-hasanat was sayyi'at. That's another type of evil. I'm just going a little bit there because that comes to mind. Now they say, like Jamaat Tabligh example, we use Jamaat Tabligh as an example. They say Jamaat Tabligh has some good in them, and they also have some things that are opposing the Sharia. Alright? So what we must do, we must focus on the good and blot out the bad. Okay? And deal with them like that. This is a qaida, a principle that is batil. When it comes to the criticism of deviation and deviance. It is a qaida mu'tabarah. It is a qaida principle that is considered when you're speaking about biographies of individuals and organizations. Somebody asks you when the Jamaat Tabligh starts, so you're writing a whole thesis on Jamaat Tabligh, you're going to mention everything about them. In that mentioning, there will be good and there will be bad. That's fine. We are people of Adala. We are people who are just, we don't oppress anyone, right? So in that particular case, where you are writing a biography or writing historical facts about an individual or an organization, you write the good and the bad and everything there. But when you are criticizing an evil, now something which you fear, people can take to and then get deviated from the truth, you do not speak about the good. Sheikh Ahmad al-Najmi, Sheikh Rabi ibn Hadi al-Madkhali, Ahmad al-Najmi rahimahullah ta'ala, Sheikh Rabi hafidhullah ta'ala, Sheikh Waid al-Jabiri, even the Lajnatul Daima al-Buth al-Ilmiya wal-Iftah have spoken around this issue in the case of Abdurrahman Abdul Khaliq, Hayyatul Turath, al-Islamiyah, and others, Ali al-Halabi. So these people were first in the very beginning, they were with the ulama and they were supporting. I'm mentioning their name because you may come across this and then you wonder now what is happening here. Okay, these are Salafis. People are confused and the confusion has happened and people have come up with it. So you ought to know this. Naam, Abdurrahman Abdul Khaliq. Naam, at one stage he was graduate of Jamia Islamiyah, was with the ulama, helping the Dawah al-Salafiyah. Naam, Ali al-Halabi kadhalik, and they were there in the forefront of the Dawah al-Salafiyah. But they deviated. In this chapter called Al-Muwazana Bain al-Hasanat was-Sayyi'at, Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan has spoken up against it. Sheikh Uthaymeen has also got something to say about it. Sheikh Al-Albani has also got something to say about this Al-Muwazana Bain al-Hasanat was-Sayyi'at. Now, that is not applicable. Now, this is Qawaidul Batilah. Al-Muwazanatu Bain al-Hasanat was-Sayyi'at in the Naqd al-Rijal. Now, or in the Naqd al-Afkar al-Haddama. Now, this destructive concepts and ideologies. The next question the Shaykh was asked, لقد ذكر السلف الصالح علامات يعرف بها المبتدع من كونه يخالط أهل البدع. The Salaf al-Salih, they have mentioned signs now by which the innovators are known by. Now, and from the signs is that they mix with the people of innovation. One, وَيُثْنِي عَلَى رُؤُوسِهِمْ, they praise the heads of innovation. Two, وَيَتْأَنُوا فِي أَهْلِ السُّنَّةِ, they criticize the people of the Sunnah. They just disparage the people of Sunnah. three things that they are known for. Now, the sign of those who are people of innovators are known for. والسؤال, and here's the question now. هو هل تطبق هذه العلامات على الحزبيين المعاصرين? Now, these signs that we just spoke about now, are they applicable upon the contemporary sects of deviation? That's one. Second, وهل ذلك خاص للعلماء? Is this specifically applicable to the ulama, that they can criticize these people? أم يجوز كذلك لطلاب العلم? Or is it permissible as well for the students of knowledge to enter this field? Something which we have to know. Very important question. Al-Jawab, the response of the Shaykh. He says, ما أُثِرَ عن السلف الصالح, what has been reported from our righteous predecessors, وَأَتْبَاعِهِمْ, and their followers of the Salaf al-Salih, مِنْ ذِكْرِهِمْ شَيْئًا مِنْ عَلَامَاتِ أَهْلِ الْبِدَعِ, of them mentioning something of the signs of the people of innovation. فَوَصَّحِيحٌ لَا شَكَّ فِيهِ, this is correct. There's no doubt in that. Is because إِنَّهُمْ يُطْلِقُونَ عَلَيْهِمْ صِفَاتِ ذَمٍّ لِيَغِيظُوهُمْ بِهَا, because they are mentioning against the people of Sunnah reprehensible descriptions. They attribute to them bad terminologies and terms. They want to make them angry with this, or they tease them with this. Now, وَيَغِيظُ مَنْ يَأْتِ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَهْلِ السُّنَّةِ, and they want to tease with this others besides the Ahlul Sunnah. كَإِطْلَاقِهِمْ عَلَى أَهْلِ السُّنَّةِ حَشَوِيَّةً, like they're referring to the Ahlul Sunnah as Hashawiyah. You know, you people are Hashawiyah, you know, meaning you have no substance in your people's knowledge. You know, to some people, if you never study Usulul Fiqh and going to Ilmul Kalam, you are just like nothing. Because in Ilmul Kalam, you have philosophy and intricacies there, and you know, skills of arguing and debating points and stuff like that. So, but you just Quran Sunnah, oh, you're Hashawiyah. Nah? Wa Nawabit, I don't know what is Nawabit. Somebody knows, you can tell me. Wa Mushabbiha wa Nawasib. Mushabbiha, you are the ones who are like comparers, you know, you lightening and similarizing and things like that. Nawasib, those who don't like the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's accusations against Ahlul Sunnah. Wa haulai hum Ahlul Bid'ah al-Qudam. These type of statements are made by the people of innovations of old. Right? وَأَمَّا أَهْلُ الْبِدَعِ الْمُعَاصِرُونَ فَيَصِفُونَ أَهْلَ السُّنَّةِ بِأَوْصَافِ ذَمٍّ. As for the contemporary people of innovations, they describe the Ahlul Sunnah with descriptions which are disparaging, bad, evil. Why? لِيَغِيظُوا بِهَا أَهْلَ السُّنَّةِ فِي أَصْرِهِمْ, to tease the Ahlul Sunnah of their time. Like to get them angry, get them furious, tease you, you know. كَقَوْلِهِمْ عَنْهُمْ عُلَمَاءُ السُّلْطَانِ. They say the scholars, palace scholars, you know that. Scholars for dollars, terms like that. وَعُلَمَاءُ الْحَيْضِ وَالنِّفَاسِ, scholars of hayd, you know, menstruation and postpartum bleeding, all of that, nifas. وَقَوْمٌ لَا يَفْحَمُونَ الْوَاقِعِ. Oh, these are people who don't know the reality of things. Meaning like you are stuck in the books that speak about old and ancient things. You don't know the reality. You know? That's what they think. But the ulama, they know the reality of things. The ulama, they know the reality of things. Especially those ulama who are ulama that have information from the wulatul umur. Because there's a majlis, especially the mamlaka. Now, I don't know. I can speak for other countries because I don't know about them. I can just assume. But the mamlaka I know for a fact. That the people in government, now, high as they go, they consult to the ulama. There's a trading of information. They inform the ulama what's happening around, not just in the country, but around the world, because they've got embassies everywhere in the world. And they get feedback from the embassies. Now, regarding the Muslims, what's happening with the Muslims, regarding all of those ideologies that are present in different parts of the world. And they get from the ulama on ways to deal with this type of situation and how to interact with such information, which can be dangerous for the country. Now, so the ulama just don't sit in the offices and just read books. They are well acquainted. They've got tulab in the different countries. They pick up the phone. Ya Talib Fulan, what's happening there? And then he gets the feedback. Contacting the sikat from their tulab. Now, it's not like how they think. This is just wishful thinking. Shaitan sawwara lahum. Now, then he says that Ya qawmu la yafhamun al-waqi wal jamiyah. Jamiyah, you know, Dr. Muhammad Aman al-Jami, the Sheikh rahimahullah ta'ala, was originally from Ethiopia. متمكن في الحديث والمنهج والفقه. نعم وأمور يعني الفرق. The Sheikh, he knows the Ash'aira, the Maturidiyah, especially the Ash'aira. Now, Sheikh Muhammad Aman al-Jami. Now, if you had a chance to listen to his recordings on Creed and all of that, you understand Arabic well. This Sheikh, he is one of the foremost sheikhs now that one can recommend. Now, because he tore the Ikhwanis and those like them into pieces and shredded them. That's why they criticize his students and those who read who follows him as their scholar and things like that. But Talfiyah, destroyers, now they call it Madakhila also. It hasn't got yet, but this is also something now that they use. Madakhila. Now, terms like that because of Sheikh Rabi ibn Hadi al-Madkhali. Now, so then he says, وغيرها من تنقصهم لأهل السنة. The other things, derogatory terms that they use for Ahl Sunnah, will وقيعة فيهم, and they attack them with this. Now, وهم بلا شك, these type of people, there is no doubt, يجتمعون على معاداة أهل السنة, that they are united in enmity towards the Ahl Sunnah. Right? وأما فيما بينهم فإنهم يكفر بعضهم بعضا. But these groups, when it comes to between them, you'll find them, they rule as kuffar each other. They give rulings of kufr against each other. Now, and we see that with the people of deviation and desires and bid'ah. We had a case here in South Africa 2 years, 3 years back, where we had one mufti. Because of the moon sighting issue, he started firing his bullets of takfir against his brother Diobandis. And Diobandi saying these people are, you know, out of the fold of Islam, munafiqeen and things like that. It's takfir. Now, kufr, kafir, MBS is a kafir, that's what he says. It's all there, recorded, you know. But that's Ahlul Sunnah, calling Ahlul Sunnah kafir. But between them, amongst themselves, they have this. Now, they have this. You won't find Ahlul Sunnah ruling a person being a kafir, now, unless what? The Sharia now rules a person to be a kafir. Now, So the Ahlul Sunnah are very careful with this, making takfir. وَيُبَدِّعُ بَعْضُمْ بَعْضًا. They rule each other to be people of bid'ah. All the people of bid'ah, but they go at each other. وَيُفَسِّقُ بَعْضُمْ بَعْضًا. They call each other fusaq, fujjar, open sinner, major sinner, open sinner. They go at each other with those type of descriptions. وَلَا فَرْقَ بَيْنَ أَهْلِ الْبِدَايَ الْقُدَامَةِ. There is no difference between the people of innovation of the past, وَالْمُعَاصِرِينَ, and those in the contemporary times, بِالنِّسْبَةِ لِلْوَقِيعَةِ فِي أَهْلِ السُّنَّةِ, with regards to criticizing and attacking the Ahlul Sunnah. بَيْدَ أَنَّ الْبِدَعَ تَخْتَلِفُ مِنْ قَوْمٍ إِلَى قَوْمٍ. However, bid'ah differs from people to people. Innovation differs from people to people. فَتَارَةً تَكُونُ مُكَفِّرًا. At times the innovation can be such a great innovation that it takes one out of the fold of Islam. وَتَارًا تَكُونُ مُفَسِّقًا. And at times it is a major sin and transgression. Doesn't take you out of the fold of Islam. كَمَا تَكُونُ اِعْتِقَادِيَّةً وَعَمَلِيَّةً. Like how sometimes the bid'ah can be something connected to creed. Like making dua to the dead. This has to do with aqidah. Amaliyah, Mawlid, like bid'ah that is, they do bid'ah to Mawlid. That's a bid'ah, or the 27th night, Laylatul Isra wal Mi'raj. So that is a bid'ah amaliyah. وَأَمَّا مَعْرِفَةُ الْبِدْعِ وَأَهْلِهَا. Now it's coming to the other section. As for the recognizing of innovation and its people, فَالْأَصْلُ فِيهِ أَنَّ الْعُلَمَاء هُمُ الَّذِينَ يَعْرِفُونَهَا وَيَعْرِفُونَ أَهْلَهَا. It is the ulama, the scholars, they are the ones who know the people of bid'ah and innovation. They are the ones who know what is bid'ah and innovations, bid'ah and people of desires. They are the ones who know what is actual bid'ah. وَطُلَّابُ الْعِلْمِ مِنْ أَهْلِ السُّنَّةِ يَتَلَقَّوْنَ ذَلِكَ عَنْ أَشْيَاخِهِمْ. And the students of Ahlul Sunnah, they receive that from their sheikhs. Right? وَيُقْتَنُونَهُ وَيُتْقِنُونَهُ وَيُضَبِّطُونَهُ ضَبْطَ صَدْرٍ أو ضَبْطَ كِتَابَةٍ. And they master it. يُتْقِنُونَهُ إِتْقَانِ. They make itqan of it. Itqan means knowing it well, properly mastering this. And they preserve it by memorizing it or by recording it. Who? The students of knowledge who take this from their sheikhs. Now, وبعد ذلك تكون أقوالهم التي نقلوها عن أشياخهم مقبولة ومعتبرة. And after that, after these students have done that, then their statements, which they have transcribed from their sheikhs, becomes accepted and considered. Now, لأن رواية العلم, because to narrate knowledge, or the narration of knowledge, here al-adlu anil adl. It is to take it, a person who has adala, take it from someone who has adala. The sifa of al-adala. Sawa'un fil ahkam, it is the same rule, whether it is referring to ahkam, like fiqh issues, or fil akhbar, or with regards to reports, transmitting of hadith and other reports, or fil jahr, or with ta'dil, or in criticism and in giving testimony. We spoke about the science of al-jahr wa ta'dil. وَإِذَا عَلِمْتَ ذَلِكَ, now that you know that, فَعْلًا, you must know, أيضا as well, أنه لا مانع من أن يبلغ طالب العلم علمه الذي ضبطه عن أشياخه مأزوما إليه. So there is no harm, there's nothing that prevents a student of knowledge who has acquired this knowledge from his sheikhs to convey his knowledge, which he knows it very well, now, and accurately so, from his sheikh. Now, I say this Jamaatul Tabligh, they are astray and all of that. This is Fulan who is astray, don't take knowledge from him, etc. But he must connect his statements to his sheikh. Sheikh Fulan has said that so and so is not suitable to take knowledge from. And the reasons he mentioned is 1, 2, 3. So you don't become like the one who's making this ruling. You are transmitting from your sheikh, from the one who is the actual source of the ruling. So sometimes brothers want to make themselves big and become allama overnight, and they start giving rulings. They know that this ruling of Sheikh, Masaa'il, Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, but they don't mention the name of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan. No, what he's doing is wrong, is haram, and he's out of the flow. Yes, if you give it yourself from your side, because you got that mustawa of ilm, then fabiha. Somebody else will quote you then later, we say an alim now with that issue. But if you take it from the ulama, it's amanatul ilm, that you now attribute that to the one who you take it from. Others, somebody can accuse you of liking fame, name and fame, hubbul dhuhur, wa shuhra, wa sum'ah, etc. So stick. If you got it from the scholars, stick to the scholars. If you're the one doing the ruling, then you will mention your name. Obviously, that's what the scholars do. Now, and maybe you're a scholar then at that point in time, or maybe you just know that mas'ala very well. Now, so you can do limited rulings. Now, it depends on everybody's level. Everyone's not the same. Now, but if you give in the ruling of a scholar, please attribute it to a scholar. Tie it down to the scholar, so people know this is from a scholar. وإذا علمت ذلك فاعلم أيضا أنه لا مانع من أن يبلغ طالب العلم علمه الذي درسه في نشر له أو إلى كتبهم. Or you mentioned the books. I took it from the book of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, certain book. Now, إن كان من أهل السنة والفهم والأدالة. Now, this is a person of Ahl Sunnah and understanding and Adala. Adala, brothers, we're hearing this all the time. Adala, 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 and more Adala. You've got to have sifatul Adala. Now, if you want to transmit the knowledge of this deen, and if you know a sheikh hasn't got sifatul Adala, close the books, go home. Don't waste your time taking from somebody who has no Adala. Now, غير أني أوصي الطالب, now, except that I advise the student الذي تحدثت عنه آنفا, the one that I spoke about just a short while back. I advise بأمور, with certain aspects. Number 1, أن يورد ما كتب على مشايخه الذين عرف عنهم القدرة العلمية ويسمع بما يوجهونه به. If a student of knowledge has written something, he must present it, what he has written down, to his mashayikh, to his teachers. Those teachers who are known that they have academic aptitude and capability, and hear what the teacher has to say, what his response is, what is the guidance of the teacher. Don't you write something and go off and now spread it out there. There was one student, he went somewhere out of the country to go and study. Now, within a month, he started writing things and putting his name there, compiled by, written by, and all of that. 1 month. After being 2 years by us, 1 month, 1.5 months out, his mashayikh were very, very furious about this act of his. Now, the second advice, Al-Amr Sani, أن ينقل للخصم ما حفظه من شيخه سواء ضبط صدر وضبط كتاب معزوا إلى شيخه باسمه ليكون ذلك أبلغ في الحجة. So the second advice is that he must convey to his opponent, now to the one that he is refuting and criticizing, that which he has memorized from his sheikh, whether it is in a form of memorization in his heart or he has written it down. and linking that or attributing that to his sheikh by mentioning the name of the sheikh. Yeah? So that it will have more impact in terms of evidence. It will have more evidential value. Let's put it that way. As a second advice. Number 3. أن يذاكر الأذكياء من الأقران ليستعين بما عندهم من العلم في نقد المخالف. So he must now present this to the intelligent ones of his companions and seek their help and assistance with what they have of knowledge. So you wrote something, you present it to your friend now, who's also a student of knowledge, discuss the Masaa'il, make mudhakara. Now, he may give you some added benefit which you can record, right? Or maybe you missed out something, maybe you have a common sheikh now, and you got 90% of what the sheikh said, but the 10% you don't have. So that helps because he will inform you of that 10%. Now, so they'll help you in that. في نقد المخالف وبيان ما عند المخالف من الشبهة نعم وردها بالدليل. So explain to him what the mukhalif, what the opponent has of doubts, and refuting that with dalil, with evidence. Fourth thing, al-amr rabi, at-ta'anni, to be careful, now, to take care, to proceed with caution, wa mulazamatu sakina, to be calm, now, wal waqar, and to have dignity. See, these are the qualities you must have. You want to refute, but you get all flustered and you get angry and you red-faced and you screaming and no. If you have little knowledge, now, the fact that you raise your voice so high will not increase the little knowledge you got in any way. No. The same knowledge you can say calmly. It'll still be the same amount. No? So you must have this ta'anni, be careful. Check yourself properly, you know what to say. And sakina, be calm. And dignity. In the munakashati al-khasm, at the time when you are now discussing with the opponent. See? It's not just, what is nowadays we say, skit, scop and donner. Huh? No, Rad is not like that. Sorry, if you think it's like that, you are totally mistaken. Now, it's about evidence and then aptitude and attitude. Now, of the ulama, how they teach us and how they train us to be. Al-amr al-khamis. This is something many people miss out. Husnul niyyah. Having a good intention. If you're going to sit and dispute with someone, and your intention is only to defeat him, the niyyah is absolutely bad. Because that means you want to do it for yourself. The deen is not about you. You want the people around to say, hey, well done, Sheikh. You put him down, and hey, you're a giant, Sheikh. Allama anta Sheikh. No? You're the mukbil of our zaman, Sheikh. Huh? You're the Albani of the times. You're the Sheikh al-Islam in the Taymiyyah. I had one student tell to another student, that student not even mutawasid, duna mutawasid, saying he's a Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani of South Africa. And excessiveness. Subhanallah. When somebody prays you like that, throw sand on his face and keep on moving. Seek refuge in Allah from the shaitan. Now, so, حسن النية في نصرة الحق ورد الباطل. So your niyyah must be to assist the truth and to refute falsehood. That was your niyyah. Now, ليحرز طالب العلم أجر عمله الذي بذله ابتغاء وجه الله. The student now must gain the reward of his actions, which he has exerted himself in seeking the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At all times in our deen, important note, in all aspects of our deen, in ibadah, when we want to defend the deen, when we want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all aspects of the deen, please check the niyyah, check the intention. It must always be for the sake of Allah, ikhlas in our amal, sincerity. If you are wrong about something and a person points out you're wrong, one wrong, and you pointed 9 wrongs of his, you will not say, now, why are you showing my wrong? Oh, you're showing my wrong because I got you on 9 points. No, forget about the 9. Focus on this one that's against you. And acknowledge, and your faith shouldn't change. You should accept and acknowledge your wrong. That shows your ikhlas, sincerity. But when you huff and you puff because he told you about your wrong, then you are sick. You have a sickness. Now, you want to be correct and taught to be correct every time. You think you are infallible. This is a very, very easy disease, sickness for all of us to have. Afanallahu wa yaqub. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from this. Now, doing for the sake of Allah, this is so hard. You know, so hard to rectify and get it straight. And you should be so grateful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose you to protect His deen in this particular innovation. You could have chosen somebody else to get the reward, but He chose you. And when He chose you, then act accordingly. Make sure you're doing for the sake of Allah. If somebody praises you or speaks, criticizes you for doing that, it shouldn't affect you in any way. Not the praise, not the criticism. Because you know you're doing for the sake of Allah and it's truth what you are for. That's it. Step out from that and move on. Now, Al-Amru Sadis, the 6th point. إذا انغلق باب الفهم على طالب العلم فلم يهتد للصواب ولم يجد شيئا يعينه مما سبق ذكره فليتوقف. We were having this discussion with this innovator, and then you find that you can't find it. This person is slippery snake. You cannot put him down, and now the understanding is kind of leaving you. You are not guided to the correct way. You can see that now. That's happening to you. And you cannot find any way to assist yourself in the situation. Now, then make tawakkul. Stop. Stop. Leave the area, leave the place. Now, then go back. Stop, say, you know what? Okay, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. So, وَلْيَجِدَّ فِي الْبَحْثِ لِلْمَسَائِلِ الَّتِي أَشْكَلَ فَهْمُهَا. He must go and research. This mas'ala, when you found now, it's becoming difficult for you. Go back, research, understand it well. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَتَيَسَّرْ شَيْءٌ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. If that is not easy to acquire, then it is safe. Allahu A'lam. Allahu A'lam, which is a true statement. Because Allah is most knowledgeable about everything that's occurred. Sahwalala. So, these are 6 points. 6 points, huh? We also got 6 points. Right? Record them. Know them. Look at them. Manhaj, brothers. Manhaj from the ulama. لا يفوتني أن أحذر من شيئين. You know, I want to warn about 2 things. I don't want this to miss me, Sheikh says. أحدهما. Hey, this is very important. Very important for us. All of us. التصدي للفتوى. التصدي للفتوى. Now, to put yourself out there for fatwa. وَتَرْشِيهُ النَّفْسِ, self-appointment. Huh? Hey, I can give fatwa. You don't have any question to ask me. Hey, fulan, hey. Huh? Tarshih. Now, laha. Right for fatwa? ما دام يوجد من يقوم بالفتوى. As long as there's somebody who's doing this fatwa, he is the mufti of the area. Yeah? Don't go and put yourself front. Subhanallah. 2013, I met Sheikh Saleh Al-Suhaimi, and we're having a discussion. And then came to a question I asked him. He said, this you must ask the Mufti, Sheikh Abdul Aziz Ali Sheikh, or Sheikh Saleh Al-Fawzan. You know, Tawadu. I know Sheikh can answer. I know Sheikh for many years, over 20 years. I know he can answer this question, but you know, maybe he was teaching me some adab in a way, you know. So refer to the people of Fatwa. The people of Fatwa are there, you know. And today he's appointed as a Mufti of Medina. Allahu Akbar. Tawadu takes you far. Man tawada lillah. Complete a statement. Rafa'ahu Allah. No 5 rands, huh? Just for free. Falash. No. This is important. I want to repeat this. التصدي للفتوى وترشيح النفس لها ما دام يوجد من يقوم بالفتوى على وجهها. As long as there's somebody who can attend to the fatawa as it's supposed to be attended. He's a person munasib for the job. He's competent, able. Nah? Or in some places, they make a majmu'ah for the fatwa, for the fatawa, which is excellent and good. But then there's ta'awun. Huh? There's no one can say hubul buhur. So they control each other's emotions and start growing together into this field. Somebody who studied fatawa, he's went through that course and he knows how to do it, and he's got zumala around him, friends around him, companions who have studied the deen and they are competent, and then a committee is formed, and this committee, under the guidance of such an individual, comes up with a fatwa. That is good. No, because amongst the Salafiyun, we don't have muftis here. I'm not talking about these muftis that every corner you can get one for 2 cents, you can buy 10. I'm talking about the muftis of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Not these one do a 1-year course, then Mufti Fulan, he's 20 years old. Huh? Youngest Mufti of South Africa. What's that? So youngest one. We should be more scared. You should be very scared because you got no experience in life. Huh? Just the other day was Sahib Rada. Now he's going to be Mufti. 20 years old. Maybe you don't have any beard. I know the first time I sat in front of one of those type of Masaa'il, he was 17. And he had just, I think, one small strand of hair. But Allah understand. They had, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them guidance. Afanallah wa yakum. Wa Shaykh Aslan. This is the advice of the Shaykh, huh? This is the advice of Shaykh Zayd al-Madkhali. Tarkul hadith anil nawasi. Oh, subhanallah. This is so important, especially in our times. Stop talking about the strife that's occurring around the world with the Muslims. Now, التي لا يستطيع حلها إلا الكبار من العلماء. Such strife, general strife that's occurring in the Ummah, such happenings with the Ummah, now, global issues that affects the nation of Islam, the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you miskin want to enter in those discussions. Now, and the solving of those problems cannot be attained except from the most senior of scholars. ما داموا على قيد الحياة, as long as they are alive and they're breathing. يرزقون. Don't enter there. Yes, you can see what the ulama say, you read about it, you can transmit to your fellow colleagues. It's something different. But you step up, you want to give hukum. Huh? You want to give fatwa on what's happening there in Palestine. Allahu Musta'an. What's happening in Palestine is bigger than our pay grade. To understand it, the depth of it. Yeah, look at these Arab countries, they all seem to be doing nothing. Oh, they got so much wealth, eating the money and this and that and that and that and that, wah, 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 wah. As you hear now in the soup. Do you understand firstly what's happening there? Your understanding is only from newspapers, from news media, in the internet. You don't even know where Palestine is. If I give you money now, say go Palestine. You might end up in Greece. No. So, but you want to talk. No? Nabi Sallallahu advised to Hudayfa ibn Yaman. Alzim. Jamaat al-Muslimin wa imama. You know that advice, must be written in gold and put on the walls. Where's the Jama'ah? Check first. Where's the Jama'ah and where's the Imam? If you find a Jama'ah with the Imam, brothers, look for the scholars hawlahu. But this is the one that Nabi Sallallahu is told us, the Safinatul Nur. This Jama'ah with the Imam. Now when you say Imam, you think about Imam Shari. Bayah is made on him. In our country, we don't have that. Right? But check for that. Look for that Jama'ah with the Imam. In our country, we don't have a Jama'ah with the Imam. Right? We cannot implement Sharia to Islamiyah here. So we cannot have a Jama'ah with the Imam. We have people that are crazy, like those jihadists, so-called jihadists. They will appoint a Jama'ah, they appoint one Imam. But it's subjected to the rules of Kufr and Batil. So that's not the Jama'ah, that's not the Imam. No. So, but we can have Jama'ah. No, we can have a Jama'ah. Ma wafaq al-haq, according to a hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Yes, we have a Jama'ah like we got in Cape Town. Jama'ah al-Sunni. You have a Jama'ah here, Jama'ah in KZN, Jama'ah in PE. That's a Jama'ah. They're upon haq. But here we talk about Imam for the Dawla or for the Amatul Muslimin, or the entire Muslim world, who is the Khalifa. Khalifatul Muslimin. We don't have Khalifatul Muslimin. But we have Jama'ah with the Imam. That's Tawheed. That's them. The ulama. The Dustur is As-Salafiyyah. Now, on the Kitab wa Sunnah, the Kitab wa Sunnah, the judge of the Kitab wa Sunnah and the understanding of Salaf al-Salih. King Abdul Aziz made that very clear in his Masaa'il to the other brother Muslim countries. People wanted him, in fact, to be the Khalifatul Am for the Muslims. He refused. He said, I got no authority that transcends the borders of Saudi Arabia. I have authority in Saudi Arabia. That's it. Wise king. Wise king. Alim he was. You read his biography and you read his letters, you will be amazed. No. And they have the distributed to Palestine from day one right up to today. No country has surpassed them in that. No country in the world. Now, so these things about the Nawazir Jama'ah, those ulama kibara there, they are alive. Now leave those issues to them. Now, وما ذلك, that is not the case. إلا لأن شأن هذين شيئين, because the issues surrounding these two things, fatawa, and speaking at the time of Nawazil, these two things, khatirun, dangerous, very dangerous. Nobody rules in these matters except the kibar, the ulama. Kibar ulama. Alladhina yafqahuna al-waqi. Those who understand what's happening on the ground. They understand the reality. They're the only ones that can speak. And you know when they speak, they do not rush and speak. They consult. Because this thing has to do with a siyasa, al-Islamiyya, and Shariatullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you got the Wali al-Amr and you got the ulama, they come together and they discuss this issue. If something has happened now, you send to all the ulama who you were talking to before. Sheikh, we heard this now, what you must do, because the news travels so fast, 2 minutes, 2 seconds, you can know what's happened. You'll find they won't even take your call, not even your messages. Then the next day you'll see a bayan. You don't rush to answer things. They just take over the week in hukum here. Even the Kibar ulama never spoke about it. Be very careful about those global issues concerning the Muslims that occur. What your job is supposed to be as a junior student, as a general lay person working, Don't think I'm a Salafi now, I can talk. Keep your mouth quiet. Contact your markas. Contact whoever is responsible. Consult, ask. You tell there's nothing, don't bother yourself with this. Just focus on your 5 daily salawat and fix up your recitation of Surah Fatiha. Stick to that. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. I will do that. When they think that they should say something, because they're going to be watching the ulama. The Marakizs have Mashaykh that are very responsible. They're watching the ulama. When they think you need to know something, they'll transmit the ulama and give you. Don't you step up there. Problem is all these WhatsApp groups and all. Everyone wants to make a group. Somebody just came to Salafiyah, somebody just came to Islam, somebody just, learned one, two hadith. You want to now be an admin. It's a sickness. You must also phone there, can I be an admin? Ask the Sheikh. I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 times you won't get permission to be an admin in a group concerning matters of deen. How could you be an admin? What skills you got to be an admin? That means you love to show off. You love to be known. You want to be known. I know something, Kefa Haluka, I know, Masmuka, I know like Tamam. I can be an admin. This other guy don't know anything. There's no G now. Brothers, this is a sickness. You have to post things as though it is wajib to post. We missed those days where there was only books that's in a shelf, only Tulabul Ilm can read. The Awam have no collection of those books because the deen was intact and safe. Now, only the Tulabul Ilm had access to those books. Ulama, Tulabul Ilm, and their students. Because there was amanatul ilm, there was caution, there was fear of Allah. Now, today, and then when you run out of dini things to post, start posting about how to slaughter a chicken, how to brush a cat. I'm now in MMA, boxing, and all sorts of funny things. You see, because now you don't have content now. You ran out of content, you've got to say something. People expect you to say something. Dangerous, dangerous. Then when something happens, you've got 1 million subscribers or followers, then people start contacting you. They leave the ulama. Sheikh, what did you say about this? First they call you Ustad, first Mr. Then the Ustad, then after that you are Sheikh. Who's promoting you to all of these stages? It's Awam. And then when you're not called Sheikh, you become upset. It's a fitna. Now, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. Next one. هل يجوز لطالب العلم أن يقلد في الحكم على المخالفين من وثق فيه من أهل العلم لعدم قدرته على معرفة تفاصيل الأمور بسبب انشغاله عن التوسع بطلب العلم بغيره. That's a question that is very important, also very relevant. Because some people accuse the Salafi brothers with this, and then they claim they are Salafiyah also. Allah Ustad. Is it permissible for a student of knowledge to follow the rulings against the opponents and detractors and violators and the Muqtadiya, the one who they trust from the people of knowledge. Can I take the ruling of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, just like that? Can I take the ruling of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan against Jamaat al-Tabligh? Because me, I don't have time to go and study and read about Jarh wa Ta'deel and criticism of people, Naqtu Rijal wa Jama'at, Jam'iyat. I don't have that time. As he says, because a person does not possess the ability and the skills to know the details of the matters that's happening. Why? Because he's busy with other things that keeps him away from broadening his knowledge with regards to these aspects. So what does he do now? He needs to know. So can he just depend on a scholar's ruling, and such a scholar who knows these matters? Right, that's the question. نعم يجوز لطالب العلم أن يقلد في الحكم على المخالفين. Yes, it is permissible for a student of knowledge to follow, follow without researching or blindly follow in the rulings against the detractors, the violators, min ahlil bid'ah, of the people of bid'ah. Please don't come here and ask me a question. Sheikh, now you said this, to make taqlid is not permissible day. We follow mazhab, four mazhab. This is not that. Okay? We discuss those kind of things. Pay careful attention so you don't come and ask the wrong question. Ahlul bid'ah wa ahlul mazahib al-haddama. Right? The people of innovation and the people of destructive ways and ideologies. وذلك إذا كان من أخبر الطالب وذلك إذا كان من أخبر الطالب أو الطلاب صاحب علم بعقيدة السلف ومنهجهم وسلوكهم. First thing, yes, and he says, that is if the one who was ruled and transmitted this information to the student, or to students, is a person of knowledge who knows the creed of the Salaf. He knows the methodology of the Salaf and the conduct of the Salaf. Also, وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الصِّدْقِ, he's a trustworthy, truthful person. So his character is good. وَالضَّبْطِ, remember we said ضَبْط, ضَبْط الصَّدْر وَالْكِتَاب. He's a person who has preserve this ilm either by memory or by having it recorded down. Wal adala, and the person of adala. Brothers, I don't even know the value of adala. Wallahi, thumma wallahi, very few people understand the meaning of al-adala. We take information from every person, left, right, and center. Why are you doing that? It's a Salafi. It's a Quran and Sunnah. Have you done an Adala check? We've been talking about Adala from the beginning of this course here, that I'm teaching. You know how important Adala is? If you understood how important Adala is, then you will ensure you don't lose your Adala, if you have it in the first place. And remember we spoke about Adala? The definition of who we use, come now, answer the question. Now. Ibn al-Laham and Al-Hanbali, Naam. Sin of Ibn Rajab, Naam. And who else the second one? Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. Visit your notes, check that out. What they say with Muru'ah. Person does not have fisk, no kaba'ir, don't make Israr al-Saghair, person of istiqamah. Naam. He leaves out some of the mubahat, some of the permissible things. I give you an example of just going eating ice cream in the marketplace. Even that they don't do. None. As I said, Sheikh Abdul Bari, Ibn Muhammad al-Ansari mentioned in his book, in the Sharh of Al-Baykuniyah, he said even eating sandwich. Eating a sandwich. He says it's halal. You eat a sandwich, no problem there. But you walk eating there and the lettuce is falling, you grab the lettuce, you put there and then, you know? No. Even a qadi, the judge, judges, Islamic court judge, there's etiquette of a judge. A judge will not come and sit to where the shabab are sitting, make jokes, laugh, then he enter his courtroom to go judge. No ways. He'll be careful. He'll abstain from such gatherings. Now, laughing loud, in front of the public and all that. Yeah. These people of Adala, they're careful. Ashabul Muru'ah. People of ethics, ethical values, you know. So, but that's now, the people are very, very in a high level. But no major sins, no continuously committing minor sins, now no bid'ah at all. Therefore, the people of bid'ah, when they tell you, they come and make shahada, and you know, the tablighi, straight away tell them, please, take the door. Yalla. Or Diobandi, or Barelvi, or Shi'i. No adala, no adala. How do you take their justification? How do you take their testimony about matters of the deen when they don't have adala? As you did before, Sheikh mentioned, their shahada is not accepted. Being an imam is not accepted. You don't appoint someone as an imam, he has no adala. Now, so that's what I say, if we knew the value of adala, we will protect our adala. If we do some wrong, we'll make sure it's bainaka wa bain Allah. Now, that's how much you look after your adala. You become ghafil when everything becomes like, you know, easy going. Somebody bring the khabar, no, huwa thika indana. What that mean? What value does that give? Huwa thika indakum. Do you know what is thika first thing? Huh? It's so easy. You read one hadith book or some mustalah hadith, huwa thika indana. You start ruling like that. You yourself, do you know what is thika? Thika is not a term that you just use. Then I ask you, hal wa sahibu adala? You know, it was hot last night. I'll tell you, subhanAllah, I was just, you change, you divert from the topic. It's going to put you on the spot. Right? I'm saying not for me, I'm just giving hypothetical cases here. Just deal with me. Right? You must be very careful. Ya Jama'ah. May Allah, afanallah wa iyyakum. Afanallah wa iyyakum. ومن أهل الصدق والضبط والعدالة فإن الواجب على الناس أن يقبلوا خبره. Brothers, if you find a person of this description, it is wajib for you to accept his khabar. Because if you reject it, on what basis you must tell us that you are rejecting this sahibul adal? Anil. Now, إنه معرفة بأسباب الجرح والتعديل. Don't come with your hawa, with your shu'ur, with your shubuhat. We want something that follows proper academic channels, that has been set down in a qawaid, that has been put down by the scholars of the science, of the field. And if we don't have that knowledge, the people can browbeat us. Just talk this and talk that. You know? What Sheikh say? It is wajib. Well, I don't give hukum of wajib just like that. You know? Again, فَإِنَّ الْوَاجِبْ عَلَى النَّاسِ أَن يَقْبَلُوا خَبْرَهُ بِدُونِ تَثَبُّتٍ. Imam Bukhari, let's get to Imam Bukhari. He compiled his Sahih, 7,275 ahadith there, give or take. And he has At-Tarikh Al-Kabir, At-Tarikh Al-Saghir, where he speaks about the ruwat of hadith. In those compilations, Imam Bukhari, he says, Fulan Kadhab, Fulan Laynul Hib, Fulan Yukhti, Fulan Indaw Manakir. These terms are not terms of praise. What are you going to do if you are a person full of desire? Are you going to reject Imam Bukhari's statement? No. What we all do, students of hadith, we accept. Because why? Because Imam Bukhari has all of these descriptions that the Shaykh is speaking about. We accept his rulings. Can we go investigate? Can you not go investigate what Imam Bukhari said about Fulan? Huh? About, for example, Mujahid, the Tabi. That time is long gone. Hey, you're going to go and investigate all of this. But you accept Imam Bukhari's ruling. On account, why you do that? Because he's got these type of sifat in him, this type of descriptions in him. Now there are ulama of our time that have these type of descriptions in them. Other ulama have seconded that and have mentioned that. Now here come a sahib, person who deceived with himself, and he wants to overturn and make useless all of the qawaid and the principles of al-jahr wa ta'wil, using his own understanding. So he is a sahib al-hawa. When the ulama have ruled against an individual that this person is a mubtadi, is a kazzab, in the safa, the dham, all the way dham, disparagement. What that means now, when you say kazzab, kazib is, tawair or not? Come on, so what happens? Kazzab means just a little bit kazib. To be called a kazzab, not because it doesn't speak lies, one lie, two lies. Kazzab, become a sifa for him, an attribute to him. So now, what he has lost? Adala. What you try to do now, you emotional man, you want to now rebuild that adala which is fallen down. You start taking sand and plastering and trying to build it and create protection around this individual. Who? The people of this description, the ulama, ma'rifah fi hadha al-fan. You want to now do away with what they said, what they ruled? You are sick. You are sick. So dangerous that is. If it was not for these qawaid and these mashayikh and these ulama, now there will be havoc in our deen. Now, like there is a over the Lord al-Islam, qala man qala, la qala, ish, Lord al-Islam, la qala, Masha. Masha. Now, barakallahu, jazakallah khair. And the internet gets overheated, and then they have short email. Now, Lola Islam, laqala Masha. We don't read for Islam. Checking out the people, the narrators in the chain. Just so, if all the narrators are okay, they have adala. That's just one of the shurut, conditions for a hadith to be sahih. Now, adalatul raw. Adala must be there. You want to transfer deen, bring your adala. You got no adala, you lost it, sorry. Masaa'il. That's how it is. No. So, it says, فَإِنَّ الْوَاجِبَ عَلَى النَّاسِ أَن يَقْبَلُوا خَبْرَهُ بدون تثبت. Like how we do Imam Bukhari, we don't make tasabbut. We don't go verify, we don't go check it out. Imam Muslim, we don't go verify what he has to say. Imam Tirmidhi, Imam Nasaa'il, Imam Darqutni, these are the Imam of Ajwibatul wa Ta'dil. Imam Abu Dawud, we accept this. Imam Ahmad, without tasabbut. Why it's like that? That's the qa'idah. They have all of this sifat in them. That's why we don't go check. If you say we have to check, then please don't make it the case of your one that you love. Make it for everyone. Let's go back. to the mutaqaddimun and start checking from there. We cannot go checking from there. Sorry. You know why? Because this is a qaida which is qawi, rasikh in our mustalah al-hadith, ilm al-hadith. It's there and it's intact and you cannot shake this qaida. So you go and look for your lost qaida or fabricate one there for yourself. Now, وَيَصَدِّقُوهُ فِي تَعْدِيلِ فُلَانٍ, and you must believe him in his giving testimony and praising so and so. Or فِي جَرْحِهِ بِفُلَانٍ, or his criticism of so and so. Now, or فِي قَوْلِهِ, or in his statement to you, to them, to the students, to him, Fulan Sahibu Sunnah. So and so is a person of the Sunnah. When an alim has got this description, say that, it is something you cannot just say, oh, okay, and just move on. No. You pay attention. Because the one that is giving this ruling is not a person of desires. It's a person who's got all these characteristics. His statement carries weight. وَفُلَانْ صَاحِبُ بِدْعَةٍ. So when he says that, you're done. You're done. So therefore you have to be careful how you operate as a Salafi. You become just shubha and you just leave the jama'ah. Just like that. Just shubha. Hawa. Emotions. Desires. No, he was my sheikh. I know him for long. And you know. Hey, what should I say? Huh? وفلان صاحب بدعة ويوال من وصفه لهم بالسنة عملا بخبره. Allah. When he gives a ruling that someone is صاحب sunnah, now you must associate with that person. Right? Acting upon the report that he gave on that individual, this particular scholar or scholars. Now, وَيَهْجُرُ مَنْ وَصَفَهُ لَهُمْ بِالْبِدْعَةِ, and you must stay away from the one who the scholar has described as a person of innovation. تَصْدِيقًا لَهُ وَعَمَلًا بِخَبْرِهِ, believing him and acting upon his report. Some people have a very, they think the ulama are just like them, you know, people of youth and Shababiya and all of that. Oh, you get angry with someone, you can say he's not, you don't trust him. And tomorrow you're going to say, he's the most trustful, but you know, they're up and down with this. No. Brothers, it's not like that. These ulama must have all of the description that the Shaykh described. The Shaykh is saying it from Hadith, from Ilm al-Jarh wa Ta'deel. You see? Now, so if somebody says Sahibu Bid'ah, and then he's coming to South Africa to give a conference, and he says, hey, this Quran has got 10 million subscribers and views, let's go, man, let's go. He says Quran and Sunnah, what can be wrong, man? Just leave Shaykh Quran one side, man, you know. And then the ladies jump in and they say, no, there's no such thing as, you know, Charwata. We will criticize even the ladies to get into the mix. This is just, you know, jealousy. You just give a hukum. We must be very careful. وَذَلْكَ أَنَّ الْعِلْمِ الَّذِي أَوْحَاهُ اللَّهُ إِلَى عَبْدِهِ وَرَسُولِهِ نَبِيُّنَا Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam مَا آتَانَا. This is something very important. That is because the knowledge which Allah has revealed to His servant Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now it did not come to us إِلَّا بِرِوَايَةِ الْعُدُولِ عَنِ الْعُدُولِ. You understand? This knowledge never come to us except via people who have adala. From the Sahaba, kulluhum udul. There's a qaida. The Sahaba, every one of them have adala. That's our problem with the Shia, who disparage the Sahaba, trying to remove this adala from the Shia. And if that's removed, our deen is on a rocky foundation. Now your brothers go register. I'm going to UNISA. I have to learn from Professor van Rensburg, Ibn Hadith. I'll get a shahada. They can tell you, I studied Hadith 4 years. And you know what? I know the sciences of Hadith. And who was your professor? Professor van Rensburg. And Professor Fulan. Why I say van Rensburg? He was a professor of Islamic studies. Huh? Wits, I think it was Wits. And then you come and show your shahada. And you become Shaykh al-Hadith of some Darul Ulum. Wait, who you took your hadith from, ya akhi? From a kafir. And you proudly display it. Some of the students of Jamia Islamiyah went astray when they came to the countries in the UK and elsewhere. They went to Oxford, they went to this fort and that fort. To get what? To get their citations and certifications from such people. And then they come up, they are now a doctor. PhD holder. I'm doctor. Now, I know a mufti who went and did his one bas and all, then became a mufti. Then he just went to another Diobandi mufti, just sat by, read a few books, then he came. While he was teaching, then overnight he was mufti. Professor, kafir. Where is Adala now? You see, this is why Ashabul Bidah wal Ahwa, they did not move on the Qawaid al-Marsuma fi Shariatillah. They move with the desires. Wherever the desires take them, they move. Today you have a new phenomena with the people of desires. They go and they study, they finish Darul Ulum studies, they got their first Alim certificate, they call it Al-Alamiyah. Then they go and register for law. So they get the first degree, then they do a master's and PhD. Now he's an advocate. He said, he have a card, Maulana, first, I think Maulana Fulan. Advocate, Mufti, and then his name, Maulana. To give them credibility in the community and the society. This is to browbeat the gullible Muslim public. And that is very dangerous. So there is no value to what you study from people who have no adalah. And use that only as your acceptance in the realm of Islamic studies or academics. You have to be careful about this. It means nothing. Because our deen was narrated from the Sahaba. All of them udul, have adalah. The others, we do an adalah check on them. Tabi'un, tabi'un, coming right up to our time. All of them must be checked out. And who checks them out? The ulama who have this type of description. They check them out. And when they say, so and so is Sahib Sunnah, yes, we acknowledge Sahib Sunnah. So and so is a Muqtadi, yes, we acknowledge he's a Muqtadi. Now, is a fuima hadha. If this is understood, فَلْتَعْلَمْ, then you must know أَنَّهُ لَا حَرَجَ, that there is no harm فِي التَّقْلِيدِ فِي الْحُكْمِ الْمَذْكُورِ, in following the mentioned ruling against individuals or groups. لأنه من باب الأخذ عن العلماء الموثوق بهم, because it comes under the heading of taking from the trusted scholars. Now, وَالنَّقْلُ عَنِ الثِّقَاتِ, and transmitting from the trustworthy reporters and narrators. Wallahu a'lam, and Allah knows best. I think we stop there, some early tea and all that, no? Coffee to boost the system. Now you can check on Barakallahu Feekum wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Questions will be answered in next session, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.